All right, we are finally back on YouTube. No, we did not leave you guys hanging. You know what they say on YouTube, when the market starts to go in the downtrend, channels start disappearing, hype channels start disappearing. Thank God this is not a hype channel. Nonetheless, three things I really want to get to in this video. Number one, Vechain, the price prediction. Was I right? Was I close? You know, we're also going to take a look at the chart for Vechain. Also, Bitcoin, the cycle, the market, where are we at right now? Is the bull run still on? Did we top out? Are we turning downward into a bear cycle? You know, I'll discuss my thoughts on it, and I'll talk about how I'm preparing and what I'm doing to remain profitable even in the bear cycle. And then number three, Bitcoin becoming legal tender, meaning actual money. So that'll be an interesting thing because articles came out about that as well. But without further ado, let's start with Vechain. So if you go back onto the channel, I made multiple videos about Vechain and where I thought it would go as far as highs for the bull cycle. Now, right now, I'm gonna get to where I think we are in the bull cycle or bear cycle, whatever the case may be. But if we are in a bear cycle, that would mean that Vechain has topped out at 27 cents. Now, my price prediction was at 100x, at about 80 to 100x at 10 to 15 cents. I said 10 to 15 cents. Okay. Now, as you guys know, I don't like to try and time the top. I like to do things right around the bottom, not at, but right around the bottom and somewhere right slightly below the top. That's how I like to call my predictions and call my prices so that I feel comfortable getting in the market at very good prices and getting out of the market at very good prices. Okay, now that we got that out the way, no, I wasn't 100% accurate on my Vechain price prediction, but my goal wasn't to be 100% accurate. My goal was to pretty much be, you get in Vechain around 40% of a penny, and then you get out of Vechain around 12, 13 cents, somewhere around there, be out of the market completely. Okay, so even if you're out of the market and it goes all the way up to 27 cents, if you have enough money, capital, to put into the market, that would necessarily wouldn't make a difference, because the way I had it set up, you would have gotten a 50x on your money or 40x on your money anyway. So that's a safe way of entering and exiting the market. Okay, now I think we need to take a look at the Vechain chart and get some perspective as far as where Vechain is now, where it could potentially go, and then I'll segue from the charts into the bull / bear cycle to talk about where my thoughts are and the things that I'm preparing, or the things that I have in place in order to remain profitable even in a bear cycle. All right, let's take a quick look at the Vechain chart. I'm not gonna go too crazy on it. I just want to draw a few simple things up or down, and we'll come back and we'll discuss, like I said, the market and then Bitcoin become legal tender. Let's take a quick look. All right, let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. Let's get this started. So on a weekly, as you can see, that high line, that far out green line, I drew that, and we're way above that at this point. So like I said before, I got it highlighted here. If we have topped out, it's up here at 27 cents, or let's just say 28 cents to be a little more exact. All right, let's just say 28 cents. But this is the weekly, and I can tell you right now, based on what I'm seeing right now in this weekly, I'd be hard pressed to believe that we have more upside, because you're building bearish on the MACD. Now, this is a weekly chart, okay? And yes, you can see the green line going downward down here on the MACD. So this is what I want to say. If we are in a bear cycle, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting us to come all the way back down to potentially a half a penny. At some point within the next few years, I'm expecting us to come all the way down if this is the start of the bear cycle, and we continue downward. Okay. Now, to keep this short and simple, I'm going to drop down to the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 4 hour and talk about what's going on right now. Now, I'm going to put up a new screenshot. This is the 4 hour right here. Okay, you see the all-time high, you see where the price is now. And yes, it does have the potential to go up and retest that, or maybe even break it. We could continue higher, with these new changes in the market, new money coming into the market. However, I personally feel as though it is less likely. Okay, so I'm going to draw out a bullish case and a bearish case for Vechain right now. Let's start with this screenshot right here, which is the bullish case. All right, here we go. This is the bullish case. You've got 3 consecutive higher highs, all right, which also translates to a rising wedge if you draw it that way, and that could break to the downside. But nonetheless, the market volume, the market volume, and there's no money flowing right now through and through in this market, all right? The sentiment is not good. So it's going to be very, very difficult for a lot of these coins to push back toward those previous all-time highs. Now, bullish case scenario is this triple bottom plays out, and as long as Bitcoin participates, this can break to the upside. All right, so if it breaks out, this is what you're looking at on this screenshot right here. The top of this green wick, I'm going to zoom in. Here you go, zoom in. You're going to look for your target for this breakout to be 15.3 cents. That's where you really need to get to and break. If you look to the left, you can see other green wicks coming in the downward and the upward direction the further out you go to help validate this price point at 15.3 cents. All right, now let's talk about bearish. All right, take a look at this screenshot right here. This is bearish. Okay, you do not want this to break to the downside right now. You want at least one more run up to the top of this structure before breaking to the downside. And you can see that this is a bearish pattern. This is called a bear pennant. All right, a bear pennant. So I'm gonna draw a line and show you that if this breaks to the downside, where it may go. We already talked about it going up to around 15.3 cents. If it bounces from this lower trend line here, or if it breaks to the downside, it will go here down to 10.4 cents. As you can see to the right there in the blue box, that's your first stop. Now, you may get a retest after that. If you're lucky enough to get a retest after that, that would be a good place for people, I guess, not financial advice, to potentially sell off their Vechain for further downside. Potentially. Again, this is, we got to play this day to day as these things play out. Now, your long-term target, of course, is going to be down here, 6.8 cents. All right. Like I said, me personally, let's talk. All right, let me switch back because me personally, I think that we're done with the bull cycle. I think that we're done. I was talking to Damon about this. I said Vechain is probably going to run up 15, 16 cents best case scenario, and then drop back down. That's pretty much what we have so far. Okay. I think that if we are in a bear cycle, Vechain gets all the way down to a half a penny. I'm just going to leave it at that. A half a penny. Even if it doesn't go down, I think it's going to wick down there. I believe so. I think you're going to have so much sell pressure and stop losses getting kicked in this bear cycle due to such a strong run up that the recovery is going to be years. It's going to be a journey. Now, we may have scenarios where, because the price action is so compressed on a 4 hour, we may have a scenario where you continue higher Vechain to around 22 cents. But let's see what it does in this bear pennant first. I mean, it's very difficult. See, the problem is once you're already flowing into the bull cycle, psychologically, it's very difficult to flip that switch to say, listen, regardless if it pumps, even if it goes to 20, 30 cent, not 30, even if it goes, 22, 25 cent, there's still potential for a double top or a triple top if you look at the chart, and then continue back downward. That's still potential. What do I think we're in right now? Okay. Honestly, early on, I figured Bitcoin would top out around 40, 50 grand. Best case scenario. We got all the way up to $64,000. So what I'm thinking now is we're done. I'm thinking we're done. I'm thinking some altcoins can still have a strong pump especially now while Bitcoin is pretty much sideways downward. We could still have a decent pump out of some of these coins. You had a nice bounce after the first drop down, but when you look at Bitcoin, I'm just gonna throw a screenshot up here. When you look at Bitcoin on the higher time frames, it's overall speaking, this is a bearish pattern that's formed on Bitcoin when you look at this screenshot. So I'm thinking we're bearish. There are scenarios and cases where you go bearish for 6 months and then bullish. But the real question is there going to be enough bullish sentiment after, maybe 2-3 months of Bitcoin being sideways downward to get that price back up to and above all-time highs? That's the real question. And although I'm bearish right now, I won't be 100% certain until I see where this next pump takes us. Now, if the next pump for Bitcoin and the rest of the market, let's stick to really Bitcoin right now, because altcoins selectively are going to do what they do individually. So if this pump from Bitcoin doesn't take Bitcoin back to all-time highs and above, then I'm definitely going to say, all right, we're in a bear cycle at this point, especially if we're going to be bearish sideways over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, which is, potential. If you go back and look at the charts, from 2019 to 2021, you had long months of downtrend, and then you had those quick pumps to the upside. And then, of course, March of last year, you had that huge dump and then a slow grind back up. So the question is this the slow grind back to the top? So if the slow grind back to the top, like I said, doesn't get us to all-time highs, then I think we are done for. It's going to take some time to play out. So right now, I would say trading in the market is extremely high risk. And, everybody's going to be taking whatever profits they can get, locking in profits early on and not waiting for those higher highs. And just that mentality alone from a trading perspective and market maker perspective gives me reason to believe that it's either going to take a 6 months, another 4 to 5 months, because we've already been in this downward cycle now for about a month now for Bitcoin, or a month, probably starting tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So about 28 days, somewhere around there. So we're gonna have to wait a couple months to see if this plays out. But when that next dump comes, if it's not a higher, if it's not a new all-time high, when a big dump comes, if it's not a new all-time high, then I will officially be 1000% bear cycle. All right. Right now I'm around 75% sure we are in a bear cycle, even if we get a decent run up from this point on. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to put some screenshots up here, and I'm going to grab my trusty phone. Where is it? Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm going to put this up, and it says El Salvador. It's a Yahoo Finance article. You guys can go check it out. This is from yesterday. El Salvador may be the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. Now, I do like this idea, but then again, I don't. See, I think Bitcoin should be more of an investment than an actual tradable, like a stable coin. It should be more of an investment, in my opinion. At least that's where I stand on it to this point. I think that stable coins should be backed by Bitcoin. I think that makes a little more sense as opposed to, Bitcoin just outwardly trading. But I do believe that you should be able to purchase things with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. I do think that they have value. So I think exchanging them at that going rate for something on the market for a particular price range should be valid. Of course, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that 100%. But let's dig into this first. Let's dig into this first paragraph. El Salvador might become the first country to formally accept a well-known cryptocurrency, according to CNBC. President Nayib Bukele, excuse me if I botched your name, said he would propose a bill that makes Bitcoin legal tender alongside the US dollar. The government would team with digital wallet firm Strike to build a financial framework around the digital monetary format. That is very good news. Off the top of my head, what I think of is you get to use it to buy things. That's off the top of my head. That's what I'm thinking. This was something that definitely caught my eye, something that's definitely, I think is really good. I think it shows progress for Bitcoin and other places other than just, the more well-known countries around the world. But, I'm gonna flip back now. I'm just gonna throw this screenshot up because there's a lot of interesting articles coming out about Bitcoin right now. You got gold is good. Another article by Yahoo Finance. Gold is good, but Bitcoin is better for $7.5 billion hedge fund. Gold will surge to fresh highs in the next year, but investors seeking currency alternatives as global debt balloons should look to Bitcoin, according to $7.5 billion hedge fund. Both are likely to rally even as the Federal Reserve moves to taper asset purchases. Taper asset purchases, said Troy Gajewski, Co-Chief Investment Officer and Senior Portfolio Manager at Skybridge Capital. The two are frequently compared by investors, with former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers saying cryptocurrencies could stay a feature of global market as something akin to digital gold. Very interesting. Positive words, speaks volumes in regards to the continued growth of Bitcoin as acceptance and acknowledgement around the world. Okay. Now, as far as this tapering asset purchasing, that I have a problem with. You do not restrict people from having money-making opportunities. If they go in without the proper knowledge or understanding of the market, that is self-accountability. People have to be responsible when investing their money for themselves first before they put sole accountability on someone else or lack thereof knowledge provided by that particular entity, giving them access to trade those assets that they're unaware of or lacking knowledge of, robust knowledge of. So what I'm thinking is the same thing I would always say, not financial advice. Please, this isn't a get rich quick. All right. This thing has been developed. It is established and is going to continue to grow. This thing called cryptocurrency and these markets. Please educate yourself on the markets, the technology, and the cycles. Cycles being the most important, because this is not, it isn't enough money in this market to keep so many cryptocurrencies. There are over 8,000 different cryptocurrencies. This isn't just pick a cryptocurrency, get rich, all right? Do your due diligence, do your research, understand what you are investing in before you do so. This is not a get rich quick. This is not a quick money flip or a pump, all right? It's important that you guys understand this and know this going forward. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. We'll talk more about the news. Big changes coming for the channel. Big changes. Nonetheless, we're not going to go away from cryptocurrency, of course, because that is our thing here. So appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about that Vechain prediction. Let me know if you hold any Vechain. Let me know if you're going to hold Vechain throughout the bear cycle. Because there's a possibility also that, Vechain doesn't necessarily go all the way back down there yet. If it pumps above 27 cents to 35 cents, then that's a different story. That completely changes the game. But you never know. You might get that one last surge up just before going downward. But it's so much new money in the market, so many market makers, that it's difficult to tell. I'm Shy. This is the Dollar Tree. I will see you guys in the next video, and it won't be a few months from now. Later.